You've read all the books, you've done a lot of these courses, and you've done a good amount of the inner work, and still you feel like something is missing. Now, that, my friend, is not a motivation problem. It's actually a map and a mirror problem. There's just some guidance needed to help you get to where you ultimately want to go. And today we're gonna fix that. Here's what I've noticed working with purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Most of you are deeply aware and like honestly sometimes painfully self-aware. But here's the thing, awareness without a clear map, without someone actually reflecting back what they see, it just creates overwhelm at times. You actually are noticing too much and you're second guessing everything because you're seeing it all. And no one's really telling you the truth about where you're actually at and how to move forward from there. So what happens? You stay stuck, not because you're unclear, but because you're drowning in lack of clarity and having almost zero direction. I remember when I first started meditating, my first time in Thailand back in my 20s. Now the intention was all there, you know, I wanted to change, but the issue was I didn't really have a foundation yet. I'd force myself to sit on the mat in the morning, but then in the evening I'd go out and party till 3 a.m. The alcohol, the late nights, it was canceling out whatever progress I was making on the mat in the morning. I was doing the work, but the same loop kept running underneath because of the fact that there was no foundation. That's exactly why inside the Frequency 33 ecosystem, we use something I created called the Frequency Flywheel, continuous loop of good energy. Now think of this as your personal GPS for staying aligned, clear, and consistently in flow. It works because it's not based on this modern day hustle culture or fucking white knuckling your way through everything. It's based on energetic frequency plus honest real-time feedback from me as your map in your mirror and from yourself because you're so self-aware within this frequency flywheel. It doesn't bring or create this feeling of more noise, and it's not another guru selling you these spiritual salesy tactics. But here's the truth that most of them won't tell you. They're giving you short-term fixes that just turn the volume down temporarily. But the deeper misalignment, it's still there and it's still running the show. It's still got a grip on your daily energy. Now that's not what we are going to do here. I ultimately will become the map and I show you exactly where you are and where you're going based off what worked for me while I was on my way through these transformative experiences in life. When I do become the mirror, I'm just reflecting back what you can't see in yourself yet, but it's always been there. So let me break down how this frequency flywheel actually works. In step one, you're gonna track your state, your current nervous system state in the moment. We do weekly check-ins where you're monitoring your energetic state, your creative output, and the actions that are really feeling most aligned to you and the ones that aren't. So we're gonna review those patterns together in step two. We look at what's keeping you in flow and what's knocking you out of it, and I help you map a consistent, laser-focused plan. In step three, we mirror the moments. So this is where I give you real coaching, mentorship, feedback through what I call the alignment activation blueprint. These are deep reflective prompts that help you see your blind spots, and I'm right there with you calibrating and showing you what I see that you might be missing or you might just not be seeing quite yet. Over time, this allows you to not just grow, it allows you to refine and re-chisel everything. This is where the real acceleration happens. I had a client a few months back who told me, Chris, I feel like I'm doing everything, but nothing is actually landing with my ideal client. So we ran his process through the frequency flywheel for just 2 weeks, and I spotted something that he just couldn't quite see. He had a blind spot about this. His energy was actually highest when he was teaching authentically through Instagram stories, just talking straight to camera. But it really tanked after these long DM conversations. So I helped him shift his entire content strategy. We shortened his sales process. We allowed his content to build the trust, and his sales process became a lot simpler and simplified. And boom, he had his best month yet. Now, the clarity was always within him. He just needed me as this mirror and this map to really help him see it. This whole series, I'm grateful to have created it from my porch right here in Nosara, Costa Rica. I spend the mornings and the evenings watching the waves break while thinking about how I can design the best systems that'll help people like you ultimately break through. So if you want me to audit your current frequency and spot what's actually keeping you stuck, I did make a free frequency audit tool, and it'll help you map out your next move to ultimately gain momentum and become the most magnetic version of yourself. I've linked that in the description down below. You can also just DM me on Instagram the word flow and I'll send it over to you. All right, so that wraps up part 1 of the Magnetic Self mini-series. But if you're serious about actually embodying this version of yourself and building the business that matches it, episode 4 is where we are going to step into part 2, which is your magnetic business. And we're kicking it off by designing your dream outcome. Are you ready to architect the next great chapter of your life? See you there for episode 4.